Hey horror fans, Skidgoer back again with another video. Horror movie collection. I did the A's last, so I'm gonna get started on the B's. But before I do, Binky wants to say hi. Before I do, I got some A's I forgot about, so let's get into this. We have the Alien Quadrilogy. This is a really cool set. You get Alien, Aliens, Alien 3, and Alien Resurrection. I remember when I first got this was such an awesome set to have. So many awesome supplement materials, bonus shit. I really should upgrade to the Blu-rays that have a lot of other stuff on, but this is really cool. I like this. And on the first ever DVD I ever got when I got a PlayStation 2, I remember, was this set, the Nightmare on Elm Street collection. This is old school, wow. Yeah, this is an awesome set. I had so much fun with this set. I remember just watching these over and over again with friends. Such good memories. Love the Nightmare on Elm Streets. And then the last of the E's, I have a Mare. This is a really good modern giallo. Definitely a Dario Argento feel to it. Very good modern giallo film. Check out a Mare. Okay, well, let's get into the B's, I guess. First up, in no particular order, we have Bloody Bloody Bible Camp. This was such a fun one. Reggie Bannister and Ron Jeremy. Yeah. Reggie Bannister is good in like anything he does. Obviously, he's known as Reg from the Phantasm series. This is a great film. So much blood. I think Marcus Cook did the effects in this film as well. So fucking badass. I love it. Then we have Brain Dead. This is from Kevin Tenney, the guy that did Witchboard and Night of the Demons fame. This is from 2010. Great film. Loved it. Had a lot of fun with that one. Edgar Allan Poe's The Black Cat. This was a really cool release from Severn. Definitely has ties to like Dario Argento's Suspiria. Very fucking awesome movie. Here's a classic here from childhood. Got Brain Scan with Edward Furlong and Frank Langella. This is such a fun movie about a virtual reality video game, and just runs amok. I just love it. I love the punk rock character in this film on the cover there. Such really good one-liners, kind of like Freddy. Such a great film. We have a classic here, Burnt Offerings with Karen Black and Oliver Reed. Definitely one of the best haunted house movies from the 70s for sure. Can't go wrong with Burnt Offerings, that's for sure. We have another classic here. A lot of classics. The Blob. Definitely from 88. Kevin Dillon's infamous mullet. Everyone talks about. Such a great film. I enjoyed this one so much. That cover is so nostalgic. I remember seeing that cover back in the video stores, like in the mom and pop stores. I would see that video cover pop up all the time, and I just really wanted to always rent it, but I never could. But yeah, such a great film. Remake of a classic already. And we have Basket Case. Oh man, Belial. Belial's the shit. I love this movie so much. Such a classic. Definitely a staple of 80s horror practical effects goodness. No bullshit with this one. Amazing. Frank Henenlotter. Can't go wrong with Little Belial. I should really get those other two. Basket Case 1 and 2. Or 2 and 3. Then we have Brutal Massacre Comedy. This is actually one of my favorite, if not my favorite, horror comedies ever. I absolutely love this movie. I love everything about this movie, from the cast to the story, the way it was executed. it is such a fun film. Like you just throw this movie on, just get some beers and just hang out with friends and just fucking laugh. It definitely is a Spinal Tap for horror. I love it. Rest in peace, Gunnar Hansen, for sure. I don't give a fuck, fucker. He plays such a good role in that movie. Blackwater. This is one of the best crocodile movies ever made, in my opinion. It's also based on true events in Australia. This would make a good double feature with The Reef about the great white sharks. But this is a really good one, Blackwater. There's actually some really squirming moments in this that really can affect you. Love Blackwater. All done with real crocodiles too. No CGI bullshit. That's the real deal. And we have a classic here from Arrow Video, Blood Rage. Definitely a favorite to watch around Thanksgiving time. That's not cranberry sauce. Classic. So many great special features on this. Awesome slasher. One of my favorites. Here's a really good modern psychological psychedelic horror film called Bliss. This one I really I didn't know the dude did Mind's Eye. That's cool. I like that movie too. Yeah, this guy does a lot of good movies. I think he also did We're Still Here as well. Excellent director, excellent film. Bliss is awesome. If you're a fan of punk rock and heavy metal music too, like you'll dig this one up too. Love Bliss. No one ever talks about Bliss. How I got this at Walmart, I'll never know, but Battle Royale, one of my absolute favorite Killer Kid movies, revenge movies ever made. 42 students, only one way to survive. Pretty much that says it right there. Just put on an island, kill each other off. Whoever wins, whoever survives the last is the winner and can go home. Everyone else is just dies in brutal ways. I think they could actually use this act these days with kids. Sounds cruel, but yeah. Battle Royale's awesome. Some kids, not all kids. I think they need more discipline. I know I sound so old now. We got The Barn. This is a fucking fun movie. Such a great 80s throwback. Love it. Absolutely love it. We have Andy Warhol, Blood for Dracula. Such a great film by Paul Morrissey. Definitely a unique take on the Dracula story. Udo Kier is unbelievable in this movie. He was just made for this role. And of course, Joe Del Centro, I can't say his last name. He always gets all the chicks in the end, of course. Must be hard being that guy. A Horrible Way to Die. I actually really enjoyed this one. I thought this one was really good. It's kind of one of those movies where you would kind of pass on the shelves, and I have, but then I watched it because I heard a really good review in Rue Morgue magazine, and I actually really enjoyed it. I think it's actually PG-13, isn't it? Oh, it's rated R. Okay. Yeah. You wouldn't think it would be good, but it actually really is good. A close and personal encounter with a serial killer. Really good. Here's a classic right here. David Cronenberg's The Brood. One of my favorite films from him. Absolutely. Any death metal fans out there know the band Mortician? They did an awesome homage to this movie, among many other movies. But yeah, The Brood is great. That scene where the teacher gets it, wow, it's pretty hell-raising, man. And we have a really good Exorcist ripoff here. Beyond the Door with Richard Johnson of Zombie and House on Haunted Hill fame. Great film. Loved it. I really should upgrade this to a better Blu-ray. This is just a cheap DVD, but I love this movie. Great movie. Hate to say Exorcist ripoff, but that's kind of what it is, but I think it's a lot more than just an Exorcist ripoff. Here's a classic satanic panic movie, Burn Witch Burn. This is right up there with movies like City of the Dead with Christopher Lee. Same kind of atmospheric um, setting and just beautifully shot. Amazing score as well. Burn Witch Burn. Such a great movie. And one of my favorites from the mighty Dario Argento, The Bird with the Crystal Plumage, 2-disc special edition. I know they has a really good Blu-ray release, but I'm happy with this. I don't like buying the same movies twice unless I really have to. But Bird with the Crystal Plumage is just a masterpiece. Argento's masterpiece. One of the premier giallo films for sure. Everyone thinks of when they think of giallo films and Italian films in general. They think of The Bird with the Crystal Plumage or Suspiria, for sure. Excellent film. Here's one of my favorites here. A sci-fi double feature of The Beast from 20,000 Fathoms and Them. This is a great double feature right here. Two of my absolute favorite giant monster attack, science gone amok type movies from the 50s, for sure. Like, it was a great time, I'm sure, to see all these on the big screen. I can only imagine. Excellent film. Love The Beast from 20,000 Fathoms and Them. One of my absolute favorite movies here, right here, is we have The Beyond. Lucio Fulci's classic. Every sense of the word. There has been so much said about The Beyond that I don't even know what else to add. It's just such a classic. David Warbeck's acting, Katrina McCall's acting, just unbelievably great zombie movie. Anyone who's never seen The Beyond really should check it out. It's just, literally, it's beyond words a great movie. One of Fulci's best, for sure. I think I like City of the Living Dead a little bit better than that, but I don't know. And then we have Black Sunday, or as I know it is, Mask of Satan, from the Mario Bava collection. What can I say about Miss Steele? She is, I think I said in my last video, she's like one of the sexiest macabre figures of gothic horror ever. And she's still kicking. She's still alive. So a legend is still alive. But she is so great as Aza the Witch and Katya the Princess. Excellent film. Such great atmosphere with this movie. Mario Bava is the king of atmosphere. If you don't know Mario Bava, like he's a master of lighting. He's a master of storytelling. He actually believed in the supernatural too, so he actually believed in what he was filming. And it really just adds so much depth to his films. And Black Sunday or The Mask of Satan is such a great film. One of my absolute favorites, along with movies like Kill Baby Kill, for sure. Bad Boy Bubby. This is more of a comedy type movie. It's not really even a horror movie, but it's always on a lot of people's disturbing lists, so I thought it'd be appropriate. Bad Boy Bubby. I think this is an Australian movie. Yeah, that's a good one. I enjoyed that one. And we have a sequel to a classic here, Bride of Reanimator. Absolutely. Just continuing on the saga of the legendary Reanimator. Herbert West is at it again. This time after female. Great film. Such a... Herbert West and Jeffrey Combs is one of my favorite actors for sure. He just steals that role. And we have Bull and Tomahawk. This is a really fun one. A really good... No, you don't really hear too much modern or horror westerns. But this one really was good. It really is a product of its time and really good direction. Kurt Russell really... I think it's his best role, outside of like maybe Escape from New York. I think this is one of his best movies. I really do. Excellent film, absolutely amazing. Bull and Tomahawk, definitely one to check out if you've never seen. Here we have a classic, Roger Corman's A Bucket of Blood. This was always a fun one. I always love this movie. One of my favorite Roger Corman movies. Definitely an earlier film by him. Rest in peace, Dick Miller. I was great in this. Walter Paisley. Such a classic character. Here's a little modern one here. A lot of people talk about IFC Midnight. Baskin, amazing. Just check it out. Take my word for it. Just fucking check it out. It's a great film. Definitely. It's a hard one to explain, really. There's a lot going on in that one. Blackula. William Marshall, rest in peace. He was born for this role. Amazing. Actually, kind of creepy in spots, too. Very comedic, but also a little creepy in spots. Great film. You have Baba Yaga with the beautiful Carol Baker. Oh my God, she's beautiful. Excellent film. Baba Yaga. Definitely a go-to when it comes to Italian horror thrillers, for sure. Good witch movie. Another Mario Bava here, Baron Blood. Another great film. Mario Bava never made a bad movie. Baron Blood was great. Had a little bit of what would eventually become like slashers, I guess. It was kind of had some slasher elements. This is one of my favorite sets here. The Bela Lugosi collection. Such a great set. Unbelievable set. You get such great movies in here. Murders in the Rue Morgue, such a classic. The Black Cat, one of my absolute favorite Universal horror films. One of Kirk Hammett and Metallica's favorite movies as well. He actually has the suit that Boris Karloff wore in that movie. That's pretty cool. The Raven, such a great film as well. The Invisible Ray and Black Friday. Black Cat, Raven, Invisible, and Friday all have the double team of Karloff and Lugosi, and they were such a great team. Such a great set. Highly recommend this one. Awesome. Can't go wrong with a little classic horror. That's where it all began. Wow, American Guinea Pig Bloodshock. Wow, yeah, just some more brutal shit, man. This one was directed by Marcus Cook, who was also the effects director, or the effects artist. And I've talked about him many times on here. But yeah, this is his film, and yeah, Unearthed Films, man. Housecore Horror Film Festival, which is Philip H. Anselmo's festival. Definitely won a lot of awards, rightfully so. It's a great film. Beyond the Black Rainbow. Excellent film. I liked it a little bit more than Mandy, actually. Excellent. Really good visuals. That's one thing about his movies. Like, you just know it's one of his movies with all those crazy visuals. And we have a classic here, I guess you could say, Blood Freak. A campy classic, if you will. Such a great film. Such a fucking fun movie. Another one to watch around Thanksgiving, for sure. The crazy turkey monsters. Only the blood of drug addicts can satisfy its thirst. That is so fucking awesome. That's a great movie. Here's another good one. Body Parts. I'm so glad. What did Scream Factory do this one? Yes. I'm glad that they released this and gave it justice. When the Dahmer murders happened, when the Jeffrey Dahmer murders happened, this movie came out, and it was kind of pigeonholed because, it's called Body Parts, so it did have a lot of bad press because that was around the time of Dahmer murders and shit like that, so. But it really is a great film. Jeff Fahey is an amazing actor as well. Really feel for his character. Oh yeah, Baby Blood. This is a fun one. So much gore and insanity. This is a fun, gory watch if you want to watch a movie with a lot of red stuff. This one is for you. Great film. Very fucked up film. We have The Brute Man with Rondo Hatton. If I said that wrong, I'm sorry. He's an absolute legend. He did have a real facial deformity in real life, and of course he was kind of typecast in roles like the Brute Man and House of Horrors, a couple other movies, actually many other movies, but this is a great movie. He was in The Brute Man. He actually was a very nice, respectable guy in real life, but his deformity was kind of like Michael Berryman, really, later, because like people look at these people with deformities and think that they're like bad, evil people, and of course, if you look like that, you're probably going to get more roles like that. But he really is a great, great sympathetic actor. And rest in peace. Forrest J. Ackerman would agree with me. And we have The Brain. I'm so glad Scream Factory released this one as well. Scream Factory is one of my favorite companies. They really knock it out of the park when it comes to great horror movie releases. The Brain is great. They just don't make movies like this anymore. All practical effects, no bullshit. Excellent movie, The Brain. If you've never seen it, such an 80s classic for sure. And here's one of my all-time favorite slasher movies of all time, and that is The Burning. It's going to be hard to top this one as far as slashers go. Pieces comes close. I really do like Maniac and The Prowler, but The Burning is where it's at for me. That's my absolute favorite slasher. I think Cropsey is a great character. I think they could have done more with him, actually. You got Jason Alexander with hair, Holly Hunter, Tom Savini, of course, we all know did the great effects, especially the raft scene, which is infamous. Such a great film. So much nostalgia. The Burning. We have the original here with Steve McQueen, The Blob. Can't go wrong with the original. Such a classic. Still holds up to this day. Just how they did those effects. Was it 53? Unbelievable. Or 58. Unbelievable. Such a great film. Hey, we have another example of great effects from a movie here. Sorry, stretching. Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds. So many great scenes in this movie. Way ahead of their time. Some of the things he pulled off with these live birds are just unbelievable. And those crows probably weren't very cooperative, I imagine. So it's amazing how he worked with what he had. Amazing. Definitely is a master. We have Patty McCormack in The Bad Seed, one of my favorite Killer Kid movies, one of the actual first Killer Kid movies, if not the first. Loosely based on the story of Jane Toppan, the murderous nurse. This is a great movie, though. Such a great. It was originally a stage play. Then they turned it into a movie. But really glad they did. Excellent performance by Patty McCormack. She's a pigtail little nightmare in that movie. Black Christmas. I really should upgrade this. They just released a really good Blu-ray of this movie, and it's actually one of my favorite movies of all time. Actually, one of the few movies that can actually still kind of give me the creeps, kind of like The Shining, where there's just images and shadows, and it was one of those first movies with the POV shots, point of view shots for the killer. Definitely went on to influence people like John Carpenter for Halloween later. Considered one of the first slashers, really. Definitely the first holiday horror film, I would say. But yeah, you can definitely give Bob Clark so much credit. Olivia Hussey, Margaret Kidder, rest in peace, and John Saxon. Such a great cast. We have Peter Cushing and The Beast Must Die from Amicus. This is one of the. This is a werewolf movie where they had that werewolf break in the middle of the movie where you had to try to figure out who the werewolf was. And I thought that was kind of cool. Very unique film. The Beast Must Die. And we have The Beast Within. Such another great special effects extravaganza for its time. Unbelievable. Very, very underrated horror movie. It's on a lot of people's lists when it comes to underrated horror because I just don't think people give it a chance like, other special effects extravaganzas like, American Werewolf in London or The Thing or The Howling. Such great movies in their own right, but The Beast Within is a great film. I am running out of room. Holy shit. Okay, alright. Another Frank Henenlotter here. Brain Damage. Elmer. I was trying to think of his name. Yeah, Elmer, the guy, the little creature, penis creature. Good movie. I liked it. Brain Damage. Oh, here's one. Here's one for the, not everybody right here. This is the real shit right here. And it's not even really technically a horror movie, but I guess you could say because it has like such horrific elements within it. And that is The Bride of Frank. Wow. I really don't even know how to describe this one. Just depravity. Too disturbing to watch, too compelling to turn away. It's really well done. You really feel sympathy for the lead actor. Very believable because, well, it is pretty much real. Great film. We have a great release here from Mondo Macabro. I was so glad when they put this out. Bloodlust. I've never seen this movie in my life till they put this out. I've heard about it through like old mags and shit, but this really was a treat. Only life could have written this gruesome story. It's based on a true serial killer. I don't know if it's Fritz Herman or Peter Sutcliffe. I forget. It was one of those vampire guys. He did like a lot of vampire crimes and like sucked the blood of women and stuff. It is really fucking sick movie for its time. Still holds up. There's still some scenes in this movie that are like, wow, really? Great film from 1977. Can't really go wrong with Mondo Macabro. We got Ryan Nicholson's Bleeding Lady. This was re-released by Unearthed Films recently called Starlight Vehicle. Yeah, but I know it is Bleeding Lady. Great film. Ryan Nicholson, rest in peace. He was a great director. Definitely a pull no punch director. No bullshit with him. He liked what he did and he did whatever the fuck he wanted. And if you liked it, great. If not, who didn't give a shit. Movies like this, I love it. Bleeding Lady. One of the best TV made movies besides like, Let's Stare Jessica to Death or Don't Be Afraid of the Dark. Here we go. Bad Ronald. Such a great film. A made for TV movie. Definitely more people should see this movie. It's such a great film. What is his name? Scott Jacoby. Scott Jacoby. He plays Ronald and he just knocks it out of the park. Amazing role. I think he also was in a role, a little girl who lives down the lane with Jodie Foster. He's just a great actor, really believable. The book is even better than the movie. Check out the book, Bad Ronald, if you can find it. The Burning Moon, from Olaf Ickenbach, German gore at its finest. Unfucking believable. There is shit flying everywhere in this movie, as you can see from the front and the back cover. Like, unbelievable. The unbelievable gore. Just unbelievable gore, that's all I can say. Olaf Ickenbach was a master of the gore movie, The Burning Moon. Check it out at your own risk. hilariously gory. And the one that started it all for gore right here, the one, the only, Herschel Gordon Lewis, Blood Feast. Rest in peace, brother. Way ahead of its time. I just can't imagine seeing this movie when it came out in 63. Nothing before it was ever. I mean, yeah, you had like, the Hammer films that had blood and stuff, and I could even say like the Coffin Joe movies from Brazil, but no one around here even knew who that was. And I think those films didn't even come to the U.S. for a long time. They were thought lost. But Herschel Gordon Lewis put it right in your face with Blood Feast as far as the gore goes. And him and David Freeman were just coming off of the whole nudie cuties, going into the gore territory that's never been touched before. They really were pioneers of their time for sure. And they deserve nothing but the utmost respect. Blood Feast. Fuad Ramsey, of course, is one of the great horror character villains of all time. We have the Boogeyman, the original 1980 version, and Return of the Boogeyman. I like the first one. First one's cool. Good 80s slasher. Little supernatural elements here and there, too. Here, a great film about necrophilia here. Beyond the Darkness, Uji Omega. I think this is a Joe D'Amato movie, isn't it? Yes. Joe D'Amato. He also did Anthropophagus, which is another great film. And a lot of porn stuff. But Beyond the Darkness is a great film. Amazing score by Goblin. One of the best scores by Goblin. I absolutely love the score. And I know they re-released this in a nice Blu-ray, but man, that cover is killer, ain't it? I love that cover. Beyond the Darkness, a great film about loss, unwilling to give the past up and move forward, and just for the love of somebody, and you just have her rotting next to you and still be stimulated. It's a sick fucking movie. It's about necrophilia. There are some really sick scenes in this movie, but it really is well worth your while if you're into that type of stuff, and definitely a staple of Italian horror cinema. Brutal. Beyond the Darkness. And we have another really good one here. The Blood-Spattered Bride. Loosely based on Sharon Levinou's Carmilla story. Excellent vampire film. Very, very good. Very good acting. Blood-Spattered Bride is great. And of course I have one of my favorite all-time zombie movies of all time. And that is Burial Ground. Unbelievable film. I love this cover, but I must say Severin's version is so fucking awesome. Like, if you're a fan of this movie, get the Severin version. I just love this movie. I bought it so many times. It's just such a great zombie movie. Peter Bark, of course, biting his mom's tit off. Of course, everyone talks about that. Peter Bark, yep. Awesome movie, Burial Ground. Some of the greatest